Final Project MGT 635, Strategic Management. A global approach, global strategy, the challenges of leading an organization into the global arena. Every organization must undertake an audit to understand how they can leverage the global market to add value. Once they understand their customers' needs, what all major competitors are doing, and the tangible and intangible assets they already have within the organization, a strategy for developing a global organization can be developed. What global leaders truly have to do just to survive. Global leaders have to develop two sets of skills: strategic hard skills and leadership behavior. This combination of hard and soft skills is often very difficult to find in one person. That is why teams should be formed around every major strategic initiative, and a balance should be struck between right-brained inspirational leaders and left-brained analytic leaders. Strategic hard skills will always include understanding the needs of customers, understanding how competitors, whether traditional rivals, newly formed companies, understand how to review current strategic activities, looking for opportunities and threats and organization strengths and weaknesses, understanding how to review new potential markets that can be developed profitably, understand alternative sources of tangible and intangible, understand how to build a global organization and the global communications structures and strategic pathways of knowledge flow that goes with that. Leadership behavioral skills must include intellectual capital, a knowledge of a range of appropriate and relevant global industries, normally gained by research and reading. Psychological capital, a strong psychological profile that will value difference, welcome change, accept team think, be curious, be open, give and accept leadership, and build an empowered learning organization. Social capital, have the ability to connect to and work with people from other parts of the world. Have the skill to generate positive energy in people from other parts of the world, lead them and excite them. The challenges of global strategy: change, complexity, competition and conscience. Globalization is no longer an abstraction but a stark reality that virtually all firms, large and small, face. Firms that want to survive in the 21st century must confront this all-encompassing force that pervades every aspect of business. Today, an increasing number of small and medium-sized firms are going global, and their concerns are markedly different from those of established multinationals. Firms initially entering international markets will be more concerned with learning about international markets, selecting an appropriate arena to compete, and determining how to leverage core competencies in international markets. Let's identify the challenges facing firms in global markets and develop a framework which can be applied by all firms in dealing with these challenges, irrespective of their stage of involvement or experience in global markets. The changing globoscape, technology is rapidly altering the nature of competition and strategy in many industries. Challenges facing global markets. Involvement in global markets presents the firm with a number of challenges. Change. Rapid change pervades all aspects of operations in global markets as well as the context in which they take place. Coping with change. While there is no denying the rapid pace of change, the consequences differ depending on the stage of globalization. Complexity. A second challenge arises from the increasing complexity of managing international operations. Competition. Increasing intensity of competition in global markets constitutes yet another challenge facing companies at all stages of involvement in international markets. Conscience. The fourth challenge relates to the firm's moral and social responsibilities in the global marketplace. Organizational responses to global challenges. The challenges of global markets imply that managers need to radically transform the organization and rethink the ways in which they respond to the new competitive landscape. Organizational transformation involves three main components: 1. Information systems, 2. Structure of the organization, and 3. Deployment of resources. Information systems, information technology and telecommunications are radically reshaping the competitive landscape and changing the way in which individual managers and firms interact with each other around the globe. Organizational structure. Organizational structure is another aspect where changing technology both facilitates and provides the stimulus for adaptation to the changing configuration of the market environment. Resource deployment. Management also needs to deploy resources to achieve the desired levels of growth in the direction targeted. Strategic planning and implementation. Strategic planning is an instrument of change within the organization. The more widespread and encompassing the strategy, the greater the change. Successful implementation requires the abilities to understand the impact of organizational change on this process. 1. Planning changes interpersonal relations. 2. Planning changes decision-making relationships. 3. Planning often highlights organizational conflict. 4. Operational problems may curtail implementation. 5. Fear of failure. 6. Planning requires new demands on managers. 7. Desires to avoid uncertainty. 8. The "don't make waves" syndrome. 9. I don't have the time. 10. Q. Sira. 3 key steps for global strategy are: first, global strategic management. Second, global strategic management plans. Third, meet the challenges and implementing. Graph shows after adopting the globalization approach, multinational firms' growth has increased significantly. Conclusion: regardless of where the firm is on the path towards globalization, it must respond to the forces shaping the global environment and the challenges they present. The precise nature of the challenges continues to change, and the form they will take in the 21st century remains uncertain. An increasingly turbulent environment poses new challenges to managers that require different organizational responses depending on the degree of involvement in international markets. Finally, as the firm seeks to consolidate its position in global markets, the ways in which it deploys resources throughout the world takes on paramount importance. To succeed, the firm must become an organic process that continually evolves, adapts, and responds to the changing realities of the global marketplace. Firms that are able to do this will prosper, firms that do not, will wither.